Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new, welcome back if you're not. If you are a lover of all things beauty, handbags, luxury, and fashion, you've come to the right place. My name is Cece and welcome. Today we're going to talk a little bit about my Hermes journey. This is a long awaited and requested video, so I'm going to go ahead and get into it. I'm going to share the questions that were provided to me, full Hermes bag collection, which Hermes quota bag or non-quota bags in which colors, hardware are on my wish list, what made me start my Hermes journey, what salary I felt comfortable starting my Hermes journey, and what do I think about the Hermes game as well as my relationship with my SA. As I mentioned in one of my previous videos, I did just get the iPhone 17 Pro Max, which I'm still testing out for you guys. That video will be coming soon. I'm still kind of playing around and figuring it out. I am not tech savvy. I am not a tech expert. So I'm going to test it and give you my perspective as a non-techie person. We can start with my full Hermes collection, my Hermes journey, what started it, how it started, my first bag, why I chose that bag to start with. So I officially started my Hermes journey. Let's see, it's September 2025. No, we're in October. It is now October 3rd, 2025, the date that I am filming this video. So it's been a year and a half, going on 2 years. I do have a total of 4 Hermes bags, so my collection is fairly small. I am a beginner. I have not purchased any pre-loved Hermes bags. All of my bags are directly from the boutique with the exception of one, which is my Garden Party 30. I did purchase online with the help of Sheng Shou. If you haven't already registered with Sheng Shou, definitely check them out. I have the details and the link along with my description code down below in the description box. You get money off if you sign up with my code. I'll flash it up on the screen for you guys, but definitely check out the description box with the link of where you can sign up. It is worth every penny. I adore Sheng Shou. I was able to purchase my Garden Party 30, my Pegasus, which is often very difficult to get. It's in a very unique color, which I'll show you guys as well. I've actually been thinking about considering my Christmas gift this year purchasing from Sheng Shou with the help of Sheng Shou, but stay tuned for that. I'm not sure yet. I do try to purchase with my SA whenever possible because I want that SA to get credit for it. I'm not going to give the specifics on where I shop or my SA's details. I prefer to keep that information private for many reasons, but I will talk a little bit about the relationship, what drew me to my SA, things I love about my SA, why I think that they are so wonderful, but I am going to remain elusive just because I want to protect my SA's privacy and I want to keep the integrity and the relationship private, and I want to have respect for the store and the other sales associates as well. So I will not give those details, but I will talk about the rest of my Hermes journey. So why don't we go ahead and get started. When I met my Hermes SA originally, I was not planning on purchasing anything. I wanted to just go into the boutique and see if I could bond or click with an SA. When I walked into the boutique, it was in the morning. It was when the store had just opened. My SA and I kind of made eye contact and walked up and asked if I needed help, if I was being helped, and I said no. They kindly offered to help me, which I was so appreciative for. And what I liked about my SA was that they are just very down to earth. It's a regular person, just like you and me, very down to earth. I feel like some SAs, not at Hermes specifically, but I've had this occur in other stores and other brands and fashion houses, tend to be a little snotty sometimes. I don't know if it's just me. I've gotten SAs that can be a little snobbish and almost make me feel a little uncomfortable, like I don't belong in the store. It makes me kind of question, why am I here? Am I even worthy enough to shop from the brand? And I just don't like that feeling. So I'm very down to earth and humble, and I look for the same quality in any sales associate that I'm shopping with. If I get those snobbish vibes, I am not going to shop from that SA. I'm sorry. I'm just not going to give them my commission, my time, my hard-earned money. It's just not worth it to me. And I think when you're shopping luxury, the whole realm of shopping luxury is the experience. So you're looking for kindness, looking for professionalism, you're looking for kindness, you're not looking for judgment, you're not looking for someone to look down on you condescendingly, you're not looking for someone who is going to poo-poo you away. I'm looking for a professional that's going to respect me. We're going to have a good, mutual, respectful relationship. So that is really the quality that I look for in an SA. If I don't immediately see that or feel that from the SA and I'm getting those judgy vibes, I'm sorry, I'm just not going to shop with them. I will move on. I'll find another store. I'll find another sales associate. I will come back hoping that that sales associate is not there when I return and I can build a relationship with someone different. But thankfully, I got very, very lucky. My SA and I immediately clicked. It wasn't like sparks flew, but my SA is very calm and practical and very matter of fact and humble. And I really appreciate those qualities and made me feel comfortable shopping from the brand. The first thing that my SA shared shared with me was, don't believe everything you hear about the brand. Not everything you hear about Hermes is true. Don't believe all the hype. You have to experience it for yourself. And, at that time, I didn't know too much about the brand, only what I had heard through other YouTubers and other shoppers' experiences. And I'm so grateful for those of you that shared your experiences, because it certainly helped educate me and prepared me for that time when I walked into the boutique. I will tell you, I was a little nervous. It does help to walk in with a friend, make a shopping day of it. So I was a little nervous, but my essay did make me feel comfortable and just kind of reminded me like you're just shopping like you would anywhere else. I did go ahead and make a purchase that day. They shared their contact information with me, and I took the opportunity after I left the store later that day to reach out over text and just thank them for helping me and thank them for being so kind and helpful. And I figured that was a nice way to sort of establish that relationship up front. So they had my contact information, I had theirs, and I took that opportunity to say, hey, if you happen to get this piece or happen to come across it, it was a handbag, I would just be so thrilled and so grateful to you. A week later, I got the text message from my SA that that piece did indeed come in. It was a handbag. This was my first handbag piece. It is none other than my Hermes TPE. Don't have the strap on it because I had been wearing it with a twilly as a top handle. I love the versatility of Hermes in that sense. So many creative content creators and Hermes lovers find such different, unique, and fun ways to style their bags and wear them. I've seen other YouTubers and creators put an Hermes sort of twilly on it to hold it as a top handle, so I had been wearing it like that. I will probably wear this bag today. In fact, I am going to be going in to see my essay today, so I may put the strap back on and wear this crossbody. I haven't decided what bag I'm going to be wearing, but since I am wearing this sort of camel color sweater, I figured this would go really well with my outfit. This was my first official purchase. I chose this piece because I figured it's a casual, understated, everyday, very easy to wear bag. I'm also a mom with 2 kids. I figured this is a great mom-friendly bag. I think anyone that is starting their Hermes journey, this is a great handbag to start with. You get a taste for the quality of the leather. This comes in the Clemence leather. This is in the gold color leather with the silver hardware. I know some people are very particular about wanting certain color combinations with certain hardware. That's okay, but it may prolong the time it takes to get certain pieces in. SAs do not have control over which pieces come or go. So sometimes you might, like if you requested this TPE with gold hardware, I might not have gotten it as quickly as I did. But I'm pretty flexible. I do mix my metals. As you can see, I'm wearing my Cartier tank watch in the silver metal. I don't know why I always call it, I always like trip up on the name. It's sterling silver. I'm okay with mixing metals. With certain pieces, I will be a little more particular. With my shoulder Birkin, I was more particular. Nonetheless, this was my very, very first piece, and I think a really great one to start off my collection. So after I established my relationship and I was able to get my first handbag, did start the discussion of putting together a wish list. My advice to you is I wouldn't jump on it right away. I would certainly not recommend bringing up the discussion on day one. I think you can kind of broach the topic and say, maybe someday we can talk about a wish list item or put together a wish list. Let me know if that would be okay. I've heard of other SAs bringing it up and asking if they want to start a wish list. You can certainly wait for that to happen as well. Feel it out. I think every person is different. It's like any relationship. You kind of have to feel it out and pivot your approach accordingly. I would say don't be too aggressive. Always be kind and courteous and thankful and show appreciation. Keep in mind that SAs like you and I are just human. They're normal people just like us. They may or may not have families and other responsibilities. It's a job. While they may love their job and it's a very unique and special job, it is demanding, just like many jobs. It's stressful and you have to be mindful of that. My goal is always to make my SA's job less stressful and try to make the experience as pleasant for them as possible. That's just my advice. My SA and I started talking about a wish list item when I went in for this. I did ask if they had any Birkins in stock just so that I could see. I just wanted to kind of see for reference, for size, learn a little bit about it. I started asking questions, showing my curiosity for the brand and wanting to learn more about it. And they were very willing to teach me and give me some tidbits and history about the brand, which I appreciated. We talked a little bit about putting together a wish list, and that's when I took the opportunity to say, I would love a Birkin someday. Let me think about some color combinations and I'll send them to you over text. And they were like, yes, of course, just send it to me and I'll add it to your profile. I went home, I did some research, I gave it some thought, I let a few weeks go by, and once I was ready and I was sure of the combination, the exact combination I wanted, I went ahead and I sent a text to my SA and just thanked them once again for sourcing this bag for me, for a great, pleasant experience. And also, by the way, here is my wish list item if you happen to come across it, no rush, whenever you can. It's also a big investment and a big purchase that you have to be ready to take on as well. In terms of salary and when I knew I was ready, I think that that's a very personal decision for each individual. And I think it's going to be different for every person. I can only share what works for me. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work for others. Both my husband and I work full-time jobs. We both do fairly well. We own a property, are responsible with our finances. We make sure that we pay ourselves and our bills first. We put money away in retirement. We make sure that, all of our bills and responsibilities are paid for. And then whatever money we have left over for spending, we budget accordingly. That means we may not be buying coffee every single day. I'm certainly not making a Starbucks run every single day. Although it's a small purchase compared to a Birkin, it adds up. So I try to be very conscientious and mindful of where I'm spending my money, because at the end of the day, whether it's $5 or $2,500, it all adds up. And I think for each person, everyone likes to spend their money differently. When you talk about love languages, right? Going out to eat may be a form of a love language, and sharing a meal with a friend, buying yourself coffee versus buying yourself a pair of shoes. You have to budget accordingly. I try not to buy clothes too much, so you won't really see a ton of clothing hauls on my channels or on my Instagram. I tend to lean a little more towards the classic aesthetic. Sometimes if I see a trend I'm really loving and I want to invest in that trend, I will look to places like H&M or Zara or Hermès to make those purchases. But otherwise, if I'm investing, like the sweater I'm wearing, I purchased, I want to say 2 years ago. It's from Everlane. It's classic cashmere and wool. It is a forever piece. I bought this 2 years ago and it's still popular and in style today as much as it was 2 years ago. And I try to opt for straight leg regular jeans whenever possible. So I'm wearing a pair of jeans from J. Crew. When I was younger, I used to spend a lot more money on jeans, but I also wasn't purchasing designer handbags. Again, I think making the decision to start your Hermes journey and whether or not financially you're prepared to do so is going to be different for everyone. I also knew that I was willing to take my time. I wasn't looking to get a Birkin, a week into the relationship. I wanted to budget and pace myself and go slow. I was not ready to take on a $12,000 purchase a week after establishing a relationship. That might be different for some of you. You may be ready and you may be prepared. I apologize if I sound a little stuffy. My allergies are like in full swing. So a little sip of my coffee. This is my second cup of coffee and it is probably cold by now. It's been sitting out for at least an hour. Mom life, right? Just having a hot cup of coffee is like such a luxury, but it very rarely happens. Making the decision of whether or not you're ready to start your journey is going to be very personal and unique to you and your responsibilities and your life and where you're at. I am also 42 years old. I was not starting this journey in my 20s or early 30s because I wasn't prepared. I couldn't wrap my head around spending that kind of money at that time. We became homeowners, my husband and I, in our early 30s. It was a small home. It was a starter, a ranch, 2 bedrooms, 1 bath, very humble, unfinished basement. And we knew that eventually we were either going to purchase a new home or we were going to build up. About 3 years ago, we made the decision to invest in construction and we built up our home. So we knocked everything down and we rebuilt everything. It wasn't until well after that that I could fathom the idea of spending on a handbag. I am also very cautious about how I'm investing in my bag and getting the best bang for my buck. For the most part, I am less willing to purchase an Hermes bag pre-loved because I know it's going to be double the price because you're skipping the line essentially and not going through the Hermes journey. I would prefer to go through the Hermes journey and rack up my purchases and know that I'm getting something in return in addition to the bag because I genuinely love and enjoy the brand and I genuinely love other pieces within the brand. I really love their belts. I love their shoes, their scarves, their twillies. I genuinely have a fondness for the brand. If you don't love any of their pieces and you don't want to go through that journey and you would prefer to just skip the line and, buy the bag and that's all you want literally and you don't want to have a relationship with the SA, then pre-loved may work best for you. But for me personally, I wanted to go through the journey because I, again, have a fondness and I wanted to invest in those pieces and have them in my collection. And I'm actually quite happy. I don't think there's any purchase I've been unhappy happy with the exception of one. I did purchase a belt, did end up recently letting that belt go. I sold with Lusso and Lux. I'll include her details down below, along with a discount code you can use to shop pre-loved with her. She has and gets some amazing pieces. She posts new drops every week, so definitely check out her website. She's also a mom. She's a small business owner, so I'm always looking to support other small business owners. But I've also shopped pre-loved for other pieces on other websites such as Rebag or Fashion File. I'm a huge fan of both Rebag and Fashion File. I also just purchased a pre-loved piece recently from Season to Consign. So I think there's a lot of great pre-loved pieces. I ended up purchasing my Chanel Classic Flap pre-loved for a very, very reasonable price. So I'm, again, trying to be budget cautious about which pieces I'm investing in and am I getting the best price. I did purchase my Cartier Tank Watch pre-loved on Rebag. I got it for 50% off in mint condition. I think you can find some really, really great options pre-loved. For the Hermes handbags, I have not done enough research to confirm whether or not you can get a great price, but I'm pretty sure you can. In scouring the websites, I have come across some vintage pieces that do need a little bit of love and could perhaps use a trip to the Hermes spa that are in a very good price. I've seen some items, Birkins and Kellys, as low as $8,000. Now, again, the condition is going to impact their price, whether or not, they're going to need a trip to the Hermes spa, which is an additional cost out of pocket. Sending your bag to the Hermes spa is not free. That also comes into consideration and something you need to think about. The Hermes game. I think if you have a good SA, I'm going to share the same advice my SA gave me, and that's don't believe everything you hear. And every experience is different and unique. I don't think that there is a specific roadmap. Certain purchases do require managerial approval. If you're being offered a quota bag, oftentimes the SA needs to get their manager's approval in order to do so. That is confirmed. But other than that, how long you have to wait for a bag or how many purchases and what the pre-spend needs to be, there is no set roadmap for that. I think everyone's experience is different. I've heard of experiences where people spend a 1-to-1 ratio, people spend a 2-to-1 ratio, some people spend 3-to-1 and never get offered a bag. I think it's going to be different for everyone. I don't know exactly what comes into play and what impacts that. It's probably a combination of things. The relationship you have with your SA, how much stock that store gets, how busy that store gets, what type of clientele that store services, right? So if you're shopping from a boutique that perhaps gets a lot of heavy hitters and high rollers, you're probably going to be less likely to be offered a bag as quickly. I do shop from a boutique where there are high-end clientele coming in. I suspect it's more old money that shops there. So I suspect for that reason, I was offered the shoulder Birkin because I don't think anyone else at that boutique was interested in the shoulder Birkin or knew that the shoulder Birkin was released. I think I just got really lucky. But if you're shopping from a boutique that has a younger clientele with a lot of money to spend, it might impact your ability to be offered a bag. That said, I, continued my relationship with my SA. I did try to reach out at least once a month or once every few weeks. I was not reaching out constantly. I was always very patient. If my SA didn't respond right away, I waited. I didn't bombard them. Again, they are regular people like you and I. They might take a day off. They might be sick. They might be catering to their family. They might be on vacation. So if I reached out and I didn't hear back, I would give it a few days, a week, perhaps maybe more, and then maybe reach out again, not necessarily following up, but perhaps looking to make an appointment or asking about another item being in stock. I rarely brought up my wish list. I was very patient. They were very honest and upfront and shared that yes, it was going to take time, and I was completely understanding of that. The other piece of advice my SA did give me though, if you're looking to get your bag quicker, be a little more flexible to the color combination. So if you're interested in, say, a Birkin, if you're open to either a 25 or a 30, that's going to open up your chances. I know the Birkin 25 in gold with gold hardware is one of the most popular requests. I would opt to say that the Birkin 25 black Togo leather with gold hardware is another just as popular request. I think I'm gonna add that to my wish list. I will share a copy of my wish list. I'll put it up on the screen here so you guys can see see my last wish list, which I created, I want to say back in March. I think I'm going to make some changes to my wish list. As you can see, my shoulder Birkin was not on my wish list. This was a separate item that I requested after I shared my wish list, which I talk about in my shoulder Birkin video. So I'll link that for you guys here as well. Really, really enjoy both my Birkins. I have the Birkin 30 in gold, which I'll show you guys in just a moment, and my shoulder Birkin, which is a 29 size, which is also wonderful. It's more like an east-west type, but small because the height is smaller. It's just the width that is a 29. I think you can't go wrong with either a 25 or a 30. I think it's all about personal preference. And I think if you're very particular with a certain piece, then be particular. It's a big investment. I agree. You don't want to make such a big purchase for just whatever. It's not like I'm going to take whatever comes in. But if you have some flexibility, like maybe you don't mind if it's palladium versus gold, let your SA know that, because it's going to open up your opportunity to be offered a bag sooner. I'm going to go in order of purchases, right? So my TPE was my very first Hermes bag. This was my second Hermes bag. This was offered to me 5 months after starting my Hermes journey. Again, I think it's a combination of I requested a 30 versus a 25. I requested palladium hardware versus gold. To be honest, Hello Catwalk City, and I'll link her video. I think if I can find her video, I'll link it for you guys down below, but she influenced me to get the 30 with palladium. She has it. She has 2 kids. She's a mom. She lives in New York City. So we have a lot of similarities. And as a content creator, I like to be able to fit everything in here. I'm going to get my laptop really quick. I'll be right back because I want to show you that my laptop fits in here, which I really love. So I've got my MacBook Pro and my Birkin 30, and I do have a bag insert. So I'm going to take the bag insert out, and I have a link down below to some of my favorite companies that make bag inserts. If you have a Birkin or you're planning on getting one, I would highly recommend getting a bag insert. But this is the Birkin 30 with my laptop inside. You can see it fits perfectly. Woo, jeez, perfectly, no issues. I did have to remove the bag insert because the bag insert takes up a lot of real estate inside the bag and makes it a little snug, but it does fit perfectly. You don't really see much on top. I don't know that it would fit in a 25, but if I did want to travel or go somewhere and bring my Birkin with my laptop inside, this is perfect. If I'm planning on going through the airport, let's say, and I want to use the time to update content or edit some videos while I'm waiting for my flight or while I'm on the plane, this is perfect. You can take this as a travel bag. You can put your laptop right in it. It does get quite heavy, but it fits. It fits perfectly. The 25 is a beautiful size as well, but just for me personally, the 30 worked for this reason. I wanted this as a working sort of bag where I could fit my laptop if I wanted. I'm gonna put my bag insert back inside. This bag does fit a lot. You can see I have bag insert, I have my Louis Vuitton cosmetics pouch, I've got my wallet, I've got 2 wallets, I've got my key clay, I've got my carry raincoat, which they make for the Birkin, which is amazing. Love, love, love them. They also have wonderful bag hooks, so I'll include them down below. I just have a huge love for them and a huge shout out to Carrie. So definitely check them out. I'll include my link for you guys. If I have a discount code, I'll include that as well. It fits so much. It's very, very spacious and roomy. And I love the twilly on it. I did have 2 twillies, one on each handle, which I ended up removing the front one because I wanted to put it on another bag, and then I ended up just wearing it differently. I think I have it on my Loro Piana right now, but it's a wonderful, wonderful bag. Continued to purchase in between my TPE and my Birkin. My pre-spend was just under a 1-to-1. So I believe I spent a total of 9,000 and change before being offered my Birkin 30, which at the time retailed for 12,000. I know it's a lot of money. So you have to be mentally and financially prepared for this journey and for this purchase. I'm also not looking to implement or have a quota bag added to my collection every year. I also understand that $12,000 is a huge investment, but if you're going to spend $12,000, whether it's in stocks or handbags, the Birkin is where it's at. The Birkin has been compared to the S&P 500. In some cases, it has outperformed the S&P 500. It holds its value. It's the only handbag on the market that is worth the investment. It is worth every penny. It holds and excels and continues to appreciate in value over time. So yes, it's a huge investment, but it is worth it. I would say definitely more worth it than any other brand. Definitely tops Chanel Classic Flap. I think also you can get so many Chanel Classic Flaps at a reasonable price on the pre-loved market. They don't hold their value as much as a Birkin. If you compare on the pre-loved market a Chanel Classic Flap pre-loved versus an Hermes Birkin pre-loved, depending on the condition, of course, the year and all of that, more often than not, the Birkin surpasses its original value. So it appreciates so much that usually on the pre-loved market, if they're both in great condition, the Birkin will be double the price of retail versus the Chanel Classic Flap. In some cases, yes, it might be more than retail, but I've never seen a Chanel Classic Flap go for double retail price. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Let me know in the comment section down below what your thoughts are. And I love both brands. I love Chanel Classics. I love Hermes. Those are my top two favorites. I will always love the Chanel Classic Flap. In fact, I only have one in my collection, but I have debated adding more into my collection. I've taken a break because I've been really focused on investing in my Hermes journey, and I really wanted to get the Birkin. And after I got my Birkin 30, I wanted my second quota bag. So I've kind of derailed from investing in any other luxury brands at this time. However, I have been looking at some pre-loved options, and I'm debating for Christmas. I don't know how much I want to spend this year for Christmas because I did get my shoulder Birkin, so I may pump the brakes and just put myself on Ban Island for a little bit. But if I do come across a really great priced Chanel Classic Flap, I may add one. I've been debating adding a Chanel Classic Flap in a color. Those tend to go for less money on the pre-loved market. They don't hold their value as much as, say, a classic neutral color like black. Black Classic Flaps tend to retain and hold their value much more than any other color. But if you want like a pastel pink or blue or yellow or any other color, you're likely to get it at a much cheaper price, as long as it's not a color that's in high demand and highly sought after. In terms of my relationship with my SA, I think I touched on this a little bit, but we do have a very good relationship. There's a lot of respect there, mutually, boundaries, right? I'm never texting my SA at unreasonable hours. I'm always mindful of their schedule. If I know they're off or not working or on vacation, I'm not reaching out. I try to respect work hours and only reach out during work hours. If I say that I'm coming on a certain day, I will hold my appointment. If I can't make it for whatever reason, I let them know so they're not waiting for me or being held up. So it's all about being kind and courteous and respectful and treating them with compassion and appreciation and gratitude. I think that will help you in your Hermes journey. But again, I think it's going to be different for everyone. If you're not vibing with your SA or they're not reciprocating, or you've spent double or more the ratio and still haven't been offered a bag, I don't know how I would react. I may consider gently broaching the topic and just saying, hey, we've been working together a long time, depending on how much time, right? I just want to check on the status of my wish list item and see if that's coming anytime soon, or if I really shouldn't expect that it's going to happen. And if all else comes to fail, then maybe consider transitioning stores or shopping with a new SA. Some updates that I'm thinking about making. I do want a black Birkin 25 with gold hardware. I'm a little on the fence. I would love a mini Kelly in black box leather with gold hardware, as well as maybe the cray with gold hardware. I love the cray color. I think it's great because you can wear that year round, and I love the crossbody option. It just works for me. I don't know if I'll incorporate a Kelly in a different size, maybe the 25 or 28 at some point. But for me, I just love the ease of the Birkin. It's a casual bag. It's easy to get in and out of. It's no fuss. I love the dual handles. I love that you can wear it open. With the Kelly, you can't. And I also love the Cellier option. I'll keep the mini Kelly in cray with gold in the Cellier, and maybe add the black with gold in box leather in the Cellier. Keep the Birkin 25 in gold or black with gold hardware. And maybe I would love a Birkin in a different color as well. I don't know that I'll do another 30. I think I might do it in a smaller size. I think I'll stick to the 25, but stay tuned. We'll see what happens. For now, I am just taking it easy. I bought my shoulder Birkin. I did get the Garden Party 30 next. That was my second to last handbag purchase from Hermes. I did get it online through Shengsho. You're able to get real live notifications via email about any Hermes handbag drops. You can just set yourself up for which handbags you want and they will notify you. So I was able to get this one online, which was great. This is in the ebene color, and And I just have this little twilly here. This is in the 30 size with the canvas and leather. Shortly after, I want to say a month later, I was offered my shoulder Birkin. Hence the reason why I'm taking a break from Hermes handbags for this year. I would love a Constance, either a Constance to go wallet or a Kelly to go, or even just the Constance handbag or just the Constance wallet. But I think I'm going to take a break. With Hermes, it's very easy to get addicted and want to just add more. So I am going to see my SA today. I did ask them to put something on hold for me to look at. If I do end up purchasing it, that may end up being my Christmas gift, and then I am officially done. But I will keep you guys posted and let you guys know. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button down below. I am looking to grow my channel, so every subscription is so appreciated, and I am so thankful for each and every one of you. My goal is to grow my channel as much as possible this year so that I can continue creating content that helps you guys. So definitely hit that subscription down below. It really helps and is very much appreciated. Don't forget to give me a follow on Instagram as well, where I post daily. Oh, and if there's anything I didn't cover in this video and you still have questions, include them in the comments section down below. I'm happy to help in any way possible. And until next time, thank you guys so much for watching. Bye guys.